the Hook Grip Bible for Powerlifters.
Nailed it. All right, let me see your hand. Put your
Yeah.
put your hand on top of mine. I can see how big those things are. All right, I'll do the other way. Other hand.
Ay, sorry.
There we go. So she's got those tiny little hands with those big round dedos de queso. All right, let's get to work.
Take two. My wife did not like me referring to her fingers as fat. She would prefer them to be known as dedos de queso, and that's what they are. The two things that I hear people say they don't want to learn hook grip is obviously that it's painful and their hands are too small. Your hands aren't too small. Children use hook grip in Olympic lifting at like age 6, so that's not a good excuse. Also, their version of hook grip, as you can tell from my earlier videos, is more painful and probably requires a larger hand. Now, my wife, you would think, would actually have really bad genetics for hook grip, and you're going to see that right here. She actually has perfectly locked in hook grip. And where the hand size actually comes in, we're going to get to that in a second. But she has pretty bad genetics, you would think. She's got small hands. She has chubby little fingers, dedos de queso, as they say down here in Mexico. And so you'd think they'd be really bad for hook grip, but it's quite the contrary. Now, the give and take for, if you have larger hands like me, you can take advantage of the shortened range of motion. But it feels more unnatural, it feels more insecure. And now, if you have the smaller hands, you noticed on her, the bar fit more snugly into her palm, and you notice that it was a more natural feeling. It was much more snugger. The bar doesn't move on her at all, and that's just a more natural feel for her. And so that's the give and take with hand size. And anything after that, there is, like, your hands are not too small. So that's just a cop out. All right, here I am chalking up her hands. I finally got her to use some chalk. Cover that in a little bit. Her hands aren't even callous enough to really get the chalk to come off the block. Kind of funny. She likes the taste as well. So she worked up to a top triple today. This is actually kind of a big PR for her. I don't know what it is, 155 for a triple. Anyways, I never really actually taught her how to use hook grip. I told her where to put her thumb underneath her fingers, and because her hands are smaller, that's the only way it's going to fit, and it just locked in perfectly. So there are give and takes to having larger hands. You're going to have to work more on your technique. Smaller hands, it's just going to fit more naturally. And it's going to be more secure feeling. It's going to be more natural feeling. I'll admit it, when I first started using this new form that I'm using, it feels weird. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose the bar every time. But it never happens. I always lock it in, and it doesn't slip, and get great results. Two more.
I thought that was 3.
That was 2. You need 5. Maybe you need straps. You need straps.
Huh.
Well, all right then. She always turns down chalk and straps because, and I quote, she wants to stay natural, or her other reason is that she's too tough to use my pink straps. So, I'm really not sure what she's insinuating with either of those comments, but have fun. Peace.
All right, you ready?
Welcome to the Hook Grip. Okay.
Go ahead.